Hey guys, okay, so I'm in Chicago. So I just, because of the snow day, wanted to give you a little video instruction so that you could start working on your Spirit Week project. I'll be back Monday. Mr. Jansen is also a really good resource. He knows this project, and all of his students are doing it as well. So I just wanted to kind of tell you what the Spirit Week project was going to be. I'm going to go into Canvas. And it's going to be right here, the scale drawing project. And it shows, here is the description. So you are going to need to get a gridded poster board from the bookstore. It shows that right there. And you can use any materials you want. So I have some markers, colored pencils. But if you'd like to bring your own, that would be great too. Paint pens have worked pretty well in the past. So what you're going to do is you're going to find a picture that you want, and we're going to do a scale drawing of it. So it'll be smaller on your iPad, but then we're going to blow it up to be bigger on the poster board. You can do it vertical or horizontal, but if you want to be in the running for the ones that get put on the back wall, that has to be horizontal, and then we'll vote on those in the future. So it says create a grid in Notability. I gave you this grid wide note to start. When you click on that, make sure you open it directly into Notability because it is a note file and not a PDF. Basically you're going to take your picture from the internet and put it into Notability. We're going to make a grid on the poster board. Again, the poster board is gridded at the bookstore. You can use regular poster board, but the stuff at the bookstore is really helpful. And then it should cover the majority of your poster board. And then it's saying, here's the key: transfer each square of the small picture to your poster board by enlarging each square one square at a time. It makes it easier to draw. So I'll show you that in a second, but just rubric wise, difficulty level 30 points, neatness 30 points, accuracy 30 points, 10 for color, 10 for the picture looking the same, 10 for the same detail, and then having your first and last name on the back of your poster board, and then 5 points for submitting your picture with the grid over it into Canvas. And this is due the Friday of Spirit Week at 3 p.m. So here's kind of my little example. So I believe the poster board is somewhere around 42 boxes by 52 or 54. You guys will have to count. But an ideal ratio is like a 14 by 17 or a 10 by 13. Because this one you can blow up for a scale factor times 4. That'll give you 40 by 52. And I think the poster board is 42 by 54. So you'll just leave one box on each of the outsides. Or 14 by 17, you can scale factor it by 3. 14 times 3 is 42 exactly, and 17 times 3 is 51. So I think then the top and the bottom, you would, if you do it horizontally, you would need no boxes on the edge, but this you would need, well, there would be 3 left over, so 1.5 on each side, or 1 on one side and 2 on the other side. Again, I'll help you guys with this when I get back, or Mr. Jansen can help you with it. But let's say your ratio you set up is 10 by 13. If it was a scale factor of 2, that'd be 20 by 26, not going to fill the whole poster board. 3 by 3, 30 by 39, not going to fill the whole poster board. Times 4, 40 by 52, that will fill the whole poster board with one box on each side, so to 52, 53, and 1 box on each side here. And then if I tried to scale it by 5, I'd have 50 and then 65, I believe. And that would be too big for our poster board. So if you do 10 by 13, you want to do it 4 by 4 boxes. So I pulled this picture off the internet. What I did ahead of time is I downloaded this grid from Notability. From Canvas. It was that grid wide .note file. Then I counted 0, 1, 2, all the way up to 13, and 0, 1, 2, all the way up to 10. And I took my flounder picture, and I came over from the internet, so I looked for one I wanted. I was looking for pictures, and I decided on this one. I dragged it over, I put it in, and it came over like this small. And I don't want my whole poster board to just have this tiny picture of flounder. So I brought it up to the corner. I had drawn my 10 by 13 box, so I, did a rectangle, made it 10 by 13 so that I would have an area to blow him up into. And then I took this and I made it, whoops, you might have to move your grid at the end. But I took him and I blew him up as big as I could. And then I centered him a little bit too, because I didn't want him to be off to the side like this. So then this is my flounder. What I'm going to do, I'm going to leave one little box on the real poster board, because 13 times 4 is 52, and I think it was actually 54, so then you'd have one little box. And then on the actual poster board, there's going to be 4 boxes for each one box of mine. And so every 4 boxes, I'm going to draw a line, and I'll basically be drawing this grid on my actual poster board. A little tip, if you use a really long meter stick and you mark it on each side on the real poster board and then connect the dots, it makes it straighter. But then the good thing is, once you go in to draw, you don't have to be able to draw flounder. All you got to be able to do is draw this one little box. And I'm like, okay, I could on the real thing draw that. When you're going into this part, you don't have to be able to draw his whole fin. You just need to be able to draw this little piece. So you just go box by box in the actual poster board until you have his outline done. So I think what you guys probably need to get started on today is figuring out what picture you want, deciding whether you want 10 by 13 or 14 by 17, counting the grid, getting the poster board from the bookstore, and that sort of thing. So you guys have the rest of Block Day today to work on it, and I'll be back Monday. Don't forget, feel free to ask Mr. Jansen if you have any questions. And I do want to show you just some examples from years past, so you kind of have an idea of what people have done. So you can see this is really amazing, but isn't too crazy. You can kind of see their grid in the background. This is insane. So if you're an artist, go for it. Just some variety. These are some great ones. Here they did it on paper instead of their iPad to start, but you can see the grid that they have. Cartoons are good to do because they have straight lines. If you're an artist, you can totally do something like this. If you are not an artist like me, cartoons are a really good place to start because they have just real clear defined lines like we have here. Those lines are really defined and you can kind of see their grid in the background. People, if you're an artist, go for it. If you're not, I don't know if I would do it because this is like looking pretty rough. But some people are artists and they can draw that sort of thing. Logos are good. This Mizzou one looks pretty realistic and has pretty straight lines. So logos are good with that. Cartoon characters. And then these would kind of be on the too easy side. Remember that there are points for difficulty. And so this would be too easy. This would be on the easier side. This would be on the easier side, even though it was done well. And then if you are an artist, I mean, if you can draw like this, go for it. That's amazing. I'm on the more cartoon side in my art abilities, but those of you who are artistic, this is your chance to shine. So I just wanted to give you some ideas of past ones. I'd say the majority of people do them in somewhere of this kind of difficulty level. And then you can see the ones on the back wall. We will vote for our top 7. I think there's 7 up there and replace them. Hope you guys are having a great day. See ya.